Piano Festival. And again, I want to thank you all for joining us tonight. It's been a wonderful festival, and I think tonight's program will continue that. Just take a moment to thank our sponsors, the corporate sponsors. They are listed in the back. At the Tell School of Music at Millersville University, Lancaster General Health, Jacobs Music, Drew Morris State, and WellSpan Health, our corporate sponsors, and we thank them. And we also thank all of the individual donors and sponsors. We couldn't have the festival without you, so I hope a lot of you are here. And thank you very much. It's my pleasure now to turn the microphone over to Ivo Kaltek, who's our co-artistic director. Ivo?
Thank you very much. Welcome, good evening everybody, welcome, and thank you so much for coming. Yes, my name is Ivo Kaltek, I'm artistic co-director of the festival. The other one, Dr. Sean Penn, is a little bit busy. He's getting to perform tonight, so he said, okay, you go and talk. It's difficult to believe that tomorrow is the last day of the festival. We started last Friday. We've had wonderful time, wonderful concerts, wonderful music, and I would like to remind you that tomorrow there will be 2 student concerts. We cannot wait to hear we have a group of very, very talented students. So they'll be performing 2 concerts at the Winter Center of Millersville campus at 2 o'clock and at 6:30. So please come and hear them. Very, very exciting music you'll hear. Also, we're done with our competition. The winners will be announced very soon online. And Shun asked me to say something about the concert tonight. It really shows, it perfectly represents what we are, what our festival is about. First of all, we're international. We have faculty, we have students from all over the world. We're very proud of this. Second of all, we're collaborators. Chamber music concerts, chamber music program, and chamber music has become a special feature of our festival, and we are also very, very proud of this. And tonight's concert, you will see that represents who we are. We also perform music from all periods, all composers, and one last thing. I think we're one big family. We have become one big family. Yesterday there was a pool party at Drumore Estates, and everybody was so happy. I was looking at them and I thought, well, we are one big family. We're becoming one big family. We have students, former students, who come over and over again to participate. We have every year new students, new faculty. This is wonderful, and I think we really make a difference in the lives of these young pianists, very talented pianists. So I think this is worth the effort, it's worth the energy, everything we do to make it. So enjoy the concert. Thank you again for your support.
Good evening. Wow, powerful voice I have. Mozart was famous for not liking the flute. And there is all kinds of jokes going around, like what's worse than 1 flute? Well, 2 flutes. And that was supposedly what he said. But they say many of those things about many famous people, and who knows. But I do have some evidence that I will read to you. He was concertmaster at the court of Salzburg since he was 13 years old. And then when he was about 24, he got, I think less than that, 22, he got tired of the job and said to Dad, his dad was also working there, I want to get another job, I want to get a better job. And their employer got pretty upset, but he did leave and he looked for a job in Mannheim. And in Mannheim there was a flutist on the court, that gave him a room, gave him a piano, gave him, made sure he was all right. And he also led him to an amateur flutist who wanted to commission a lot of flute quartets and lots of flute concerti. And the condition was that the amateur would play the pieces. And Mozart was not very happy about that. So he composed as well as he could, as much as he could, and after a short time he left for Paris, where his mom died, and then went back to Salzburg and ended up working there. He never found a different job. But he wrote to his dad about those commissions he was working on. Herr Dijon is the person that commissioned the pieces, paid me only 96 gulden. I think it's something like 50 bucks or something. Since I don't have more than 2 concertos and 3 quartets ready for him, that was not enough for Mr. Dijon. The fact that I could not finish the assignment can easily be explained. I never had a quiet hour around here. I can't compose except at night, which means I also can't get up early in the morning. And then, one isn't always in the mood to write. Of course, I could scribble all day, scribble as fast as I can, but such a thing goes out into the world, so I want to make sure I won't have to feel ashamed, especially when my name appears on the page. Besides, my mind gets easily dulled, as you know, when I'm supposed to write a lot for an instrument I can't stand. That's Mozart.
I'm sure you're quite tired of my voice by now. Cherney. Pianist. Sounds familiar? Yes. Who knew? Cherney actually wrote quite a bit of chamber music. And some of them are considered quite well written. If my research is correct, because this is not widely published, but Cherney wrote 2 pieces for this combination, piano, flute, and cello. This one we're going to play is called Rondoletto Concertante. The other is called Fantasia Concertante, which is considered a piece that is a little bit more serious than this one. This one has a very light-hearted character to it. How many of you here know how to sing Happy Birthday? Okay. The theme actually sounds like Happy Birthday. That's what my kid told me. And because it is, well, actually an interesting thing is that when we talk about rondo, for example, the last movement of the Mozart that you just heard, rondo in the classical period is usually either a 5-part rondo or 7-part rondo, A, B, A, C, A, or A, B, A, C, A, B prime, A, something like that, in terms of the labeling of the section. Rondoletto, if you study Italian, you realize that, okay, it means a small rondo, letto, okay, rondoletto, something smaller. But I think he probably titled it wrong. It should be Rondo Grosso, because it has more than 7 sections, and the theme returned more than 3 times. Okay, so if you can help me to count how many times it returns, that would be helpful. Yes, this is the Rondoletto Concertante by Carl Cherney.
So there's a lot of varieties of programming tonight. The next three pieces you're going to hear, there's something in common. First of all, there are small pieces. When we try to put a program together and someone asked me, oh, you know, these pieces sounds like all encore pieces. You sure you want to put it there? I said, you know what, after the whole week of big programs, sometimes the smaller pieces are wonderful. That's number one. And number two, these three pieces, it's absolutely are my favorite pieces, and I'm sure there are many people's favorite. The first piece, the Fisherman's Serenade, it's a very ancient Chinese tune. It's really beautiful. Since both Tong and I, we were born and grew in China, so I thought would program one would be appropriate. And the Dance of the Blessed Spirits, originally, well, this comes from the opera Orpheus from Gluck, and the Orpheus, this opera became really popular. It's in the same level as something like Mozart's Magic Flute, you know, Beethoven's Fidelity, you know, all that, those kind of things. It's become really, but this this section we're going to play for you, originally was for flute and orchestra, and also it's going to be, it's been transferred to many other instrumentals. But the last piece we're going to play for you, the Sicilian, I don't know how many instruments have been transferred to play this piece. It's originally it's written for cello and piano, but then I think you named it flute and harp, piano, violin, even tuba. play this piece. So they're small, but they're all wonderful pieces. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you. to announce one thing, that we are adding an intermission, short one, 10 minutes, after this piece, because there will be no piano involved for the second half, so they need some time to move, so everyone can stretch and take a 10 minutes.
piece is on the program to give the flute a break. And also Schubert is known for never-ending pieces. Everything is always long, and when he's done with it, he does it again in a different key.
Right.
Not his piece.
we finish our program, Maurice Ravel composed his Introduction and Allegro in 1905 as a commission work for a French pedal harp maker, which had the name of Erard. The harp company, wanted a composition that would feature its new chromatic capabilities. Ravel definitely succeeded, as throughout the piece, the harpist must move pedals 242 times. He wrote this piece in 1 week with 3 sleepless nights. The work begins with an introduction that introduces the motifs that are played by the different instruments throughout and into the Allegro section. The beauty of this work is its silky textures with glissandos, cadenzas, and the motifs shared between all the players. Enjoy.
That's already 5.